Hey, it's Tom,
And Rumble.
and welcome to the happy hour. So today is going to be our first actual video of the podcast.
How you doing out there in outer
So you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. Happy hour with Tom and Rumble, search that. So it's been an interesting week. We had some trials and tribulations over the weekend with our first guest. Turned into absolute chaos.
at least we didn't end up in fists, but you know.
Right. Nothing against her. I thought the show went well. Our audio equipment did not want to cooperate with us, so there was a little bit of an issue there.
Yeah, I would say that and we need to be disciplined more on the format, and just keeping time in the back of our head. Like, okay,
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a learning opportunity. I think we did pretty well, though. We're not going to be releasing that take. We kind of scrapped that one. We're rescheduling.
We might pull bits from it,
Yeah.
and say good,
Release it at a later date.
yeah, pull bits from it. There were some good parts that I liked about it, and there was some parts that kind of went on a kind of tear, went off left field. And
Right.
I'm a left fielder.
We went on tangents when we shouldn't have, but
Little bit,
hey,
little
it is
bit.
what it is. We're still in the infancy, really. Like
Yeah.
I read a stat, like we're on our 8th episode, 9th episode,
Ninth,
whatever this
yep.
is. Most podcasts quit after the 4th or 5th episode.
Wow. Well, we're pushing through that, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're pushing through that. We're almost at our 100 followers.
that's. I've been watching that slowly.
Thank you to everybody who has been following recently.
Yes, definitely. Like, share.
Get us to 100. Once we're at 100, I think we can kind of do live streams on there. We can do a little bit more.
As Andy Priscilla says, don't be a hoe and share our motherfucking show, dude. Come on, share our show. Don't be a hoe. Come on.
It's been fun. Like, I've enjoyed it. Another thing is we actually got our team has grown.
Yeah. We got guys that are managing us. That he's doing a really good job. There's actually getting a lot more traffic on our page. I saw that and interacted. I don't know about this whole anime fucking cat thing. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not a big anime fan. But he better produce that though.
He better. So I don't know if you saw what was posted later on.
No, I did not.
If we got one like, we're gonna post a photo of Trevon, who is our social media manager right now. We're gonna post a picture of him swallowing a bun-length hot dog whole.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah. So I said to him, you want to post jokes? We got jokes too.
Yeah, we do. Did anybody like it?
Yeah. Actually, a couple people did. So he's gonna be swallowing a hot dog when he's here as a guest, probably Saturday.
God, I work Saturday.
Then we will have to figure it out, but we'll get him in here.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do a quick clip before I go to work.
Yep. Yeah.
Get me all hot and bothered before I go to work. You know what I mean?
So, Mr. Rumble, you are the number 1 team in our fantasy football league.
Yes, yeah, undefeated, Dan. I'm making some real good moves today. I just actually wanted to do that. Remind me, because that's coming up tonight. I gotta.
Well, you are gonna wait till after we record this, Mr. Late.
I was 2 minutes late today. Maybe not even 1 minute late, sir. But you were up there doing whatever you're doing up there. I don't know what you're trying to do.
So, I get tired and bored when, I say, let's start at 6:30.
And we started at 6:30.
No, we didn't.
It was 6:34 it was 6:32 when I came down.
Right. So, anyways, it's no big deal.
No big deal. I mean, I like to be a little bit fashionably late,
Well, we're not going to do that no more. We're going to set a schedule and we're going to stick to it and we're going to be religious about it. For anybody out there who might have a voice, I'm looking for a new co-host. Just email me.
You can't replace the star, baby.
Well, I can try. But anyways, all jokes aside.
This is my idea, dude. Come on, man.
It was his idea, and he's late every episode.
Yo, because I just gotta be in the zone. I gotta go home.
He comes unprepared.
Rub one out. That's number one. You gotta make sure you're on unload the fucking gun, just be a good zen. I need the zenness of a goodness. I just need to.
It takes a lot to put that
But
together.
what are you trying to say there, bud? Years making. Right here, buddy.
I wish.
They can see it now.
Yeah, they can see it now. But I wish. I wish people could have saw you Saturday.
Saturday or this past Saturday?
This past Saturday with your
my suit,
your suit top, and your basketball shorts. That was a fashion statement.
I did. I even did a costume change mid round.
Right. Granted, he was 40 minutes late to start the show.
It was not 40 minutes. The hell, it was not. It was like 10 minutes, and it was worth the wait.
It was.
Big 20 minutes.
I guarantee you, if you ask Joe Rogan if his people are late, he's going to tell you no.
I mean, maybe Joe Rogan's late because he's a star.
But it's his show.
Oh, it's my show.
This is our show.
Our show, my show, our show. It's all the same, baby.
See,
take a
I work around this guy's schedule to get this show going, knowing that I work a day job, have kids and other priorities, and this guy's still late.
I work a night job.
He does.
12-hour shifts.
But he doesn't work tonight, and he didn't work last night, so there's no reason 6:30 you couldn't have been here.
I was tired. 12-hour shifts.
Man, I was tired.
12-hour shifts morning. I would love to work 8-hour shifts. Eight and done. 8 and done. That's so nice. I don't even know what 8 hours is anymore, man. 8 hours, I'm just basically getting into my job. 8 hours. When you're tired at 8 hours, you just think of little poor old me putting up 4 or more hours.
You're home before I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're home before I leave too. When I be waving when I drive by, my pedal by.
But all jokes aside, it definitely was a learning experience this weekend. It was.
I enjoyed it. It was actually, to be honest, I actually really enjoyed it. It was I don't know, it was cool. I went into it thinking that our guest was going to be a little bit. It was going to be a little bit more.
You were going to get more blowback.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit more computational, but it seemed like me and him were pretty much on this. We were on the same page a lot of things. You actually.
I was shocked because the last time you guys hung out, you ended up going to the hospital.
Well, Mister, I can do a shot, and he challenged me to house the bottles, and I challenged.
Yeah,
challenge accepted.
We're not doing that ever again.
Yeah, right. Speak for yourself, brother. I had a great time until I got the bill in the mail. They first charged me with no insurance, and I'm like, what the fuck? I opened up my portal, whatever. Everybody has this portal shit now.
He calls his butthole his portal.
Well, no, I mean that's no. Well, no, that's for another episode. But I looked in my portal, and it's saying like thousands of dollars. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I had to call them up and tell them I have insurance and shit. Well, it went from being a few thousand to be like $300 and some dollars, whatever. I don't know.
Right. I'll pay you next Tuesday, kind of.
Yeah, deal. Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
Right. Wait for it.
I mean, it was fun until it wasn't.
Dude, I had a blast. I don't care about what anybody said. I went to the hospital. I took a free ride on an ambulance, bro. Like, come on, dude. Come on. I had everybody in that hospital laughing. Like, the doctor walked up to me. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I call him Doogie Howser. Like, Doogie Howser, come on, man. Like, seriously, dude, I'm drunk. I said my friends thought that maybe I was breathing a little fucking heavy or fucking, sleep out. I was on the floor because, guess what? You can't fall off the floor. I'm already on the floor. There's nowhere I'm going. I am down. That's what I thought about it. But, hey, you know what? I look at it, I am blessed that I have good people in my life that actually did not walk over me and they actually cared about me, and I can't be mad about that. I can't be mad because you were, concerned about my health.
Bro, you were as gone as a dollar bill if it hit the floor.
I slammed a bottle of fucking
everything.
Everything, yeah. I had a quarter bottle of that Blackened, slammed that, boom, right down. I had the freaking Fireball. That was a full bottle. Cracked that thing open, bam. That was all the way down there, bam. That didn't last. And then the whatever that root beer fucking moonshine shit.
Root beer moonshine, yeah.
And I went down and got fresh bottles from her in my little cart.
one of our followers, who's also a pretty close friend of ours, introduced us to root beer moonshine.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, a little sweet, a little sweet.
Little sweet, but
Don't house the whole bottle.
don't
Don't house the whole bottle. Let me tell you that. And it's been years that I actually drank. Like you guys haven't seen that. I mean, that's when I was younger. I used to slam shit like that. Like, that was a game. That was a Friday night for me. But
Well,
we did it on a Saturday night, and it's 15 years later, and I can't do it like that.
it was definitely interesting.
Well,
I had a good time.
I'm not drinking for another. I gave myself from that date. The next day, I gave myself 2 months. I'm not drinking.
So Halloween is what.
That's the next time Halloween party. I will. Well, maybe a few days before, maybe a week before Halloween party. I got to get it in my system a little bit, you know, like because I don't want to shock my system. But you know, there's a logic about doing this stuff. You know what I mean? You can't. You got to go in this with a level head.
Speaking of Halloween, we are probably going to be throwing a Halloween party here at the studio.
Brother, there ain't no probably. This is where you're gonna do.
It's happening.
It's happening.
So it is going to be limited attendance because our area is not large here. So we will be sending out invitations exclusively to people who we think are going to show up.
If you want to show up, message us. Message us.
Message us.
Hey, I kind of interested in partying with you guys. You know, like you can bring your friends and I'll have my friends, and maybe we can all be friends. You know, message us.
Why can't we be friends?
I'm not corny as fuck.
Oh, well, fuck you. Anyway, so...
I mean, we're already friends.
Not you. I mean...
You know what I mean? We're already friends. There's nothing...
Other people's friends.
Tom. We're already friends. We're already friends. You it's okay. We're already friends. You don't have to impress me, bro. I'm already friends with you.
Listen, I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Your name's not...
Never mind.
Stan?
Stan.
But it rhymes with Stan, but it's not Stan. You ever get that friend that, you know, you're friends with him and everything, but he comes with some off-the-wall stories about, you know, and it's just like, you're thinking there like, bro, you're already my friend. Like, I love you. Like, stop with the bullshit. Stop with the storytelling. Like, you know.
I remember, because I know who you're talking about, and we were also pretty close at one time. I remember him telling me a story. As he's telling me the story, I'm Googling it on my phone. Okay? And it couldn't be further from the truth what he was telling me. But I let him continue to tell me the story.
You kind of wonder where it's going to go.
Right.
You know, I mean,
I was invested. I needed to know how this satirical version of the story ended. And once he finished, I said, "Oh yeah?" And I read to him verbatim what the Morning Call article said about this particular situation, which was nothing that he even said to me. It was totally different. Hero of the day. He wasn't even anywhere near there.
What did he say?
I don't remember.
Hey, lying media bullshit.
Well, like I said, I'm cool. Everybody embellishes. I'm fine with that. You know, what I have a problem with is if you're going to lie to me about something so insignificant, something that doesn't even have any personal effect on you, or you weren't even personally there to witness, that you can Google the truth in 3 seconds. Why lie to me about something like that? Something so easily disproven, so something that doesn't matter, so insignificant. Because I'm not going to believe you on anything.
Well, yeah. I mean,
if you're going to lie about small shit,
stupid shit, like we got hemmed up or something, man. I guarantee you, the liar is going to be the teller.
Right,
and he's going to be manufacturing stories. He's manufacturing stories, and we're all going to the chair.
Well, and the thing that irritated me most about it, or irritates me the most about it looking back, is it had a real effect on our friendship.
Oh, yeah. I won't even look at the guy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just, with the latest thing that just happened, man, there's a part of me that just wants to, and it wasn't even a full of him. It was his, wife, but
regardless.
I get a real one, and I hate that. I don't know how to explain it for everybody, but you ever get that feeling inside you where it starts building up, and there's a lot of pressure in there, and it's like all you see is red.
Yep.
And then you see and I don't get that way with a lot of things, but man, I look over it, it's like, you know what? Younger me, man, I wouldn't have think twice. I'd have been over there. I've been rapping on that fucking head. But, hey, I don't want to go to jail, and, things are pretty good right now, but don't get it twisted. You know, I'm not against going to county for a weekend and getting
A vacation.
little vacation. But I mean, what really? I don't have nothing on my record. I DUI, whatever. I go in there for what? I'm gonna get what R&R. At least maybe after a weekend, because it starts maybe I get picked up on a Friday and I'll see the judge maybe a Tuesday and I'll be out to whoop his ass again. Then I'll get a harder one, but whatever. Let's repeat offender, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't even lose my job. I'll make sure that I do it when I have a weekend off, so I can spend a little bit of time in there. I won't get any points.
I just have a real issue with somebody who's gonna sit there and say some things and then
say you're my brother.
Right. Like, I'm not okay with that. I'll never be okay with that ever. I
actually thought about giving him a definition of what brother actually means. Like what is brother, and what does it mean when you say you are your brother's keeper? And I just wanted to know, does he really maybe not know that? Maybe he needs to get schooled a little bit. Maybe we have to do a little learning lesson. But at the point where it's past teaching, you should know this already. We're in our 40s.
I just don't understand that. I don't want to dwell on this and put too much time on it, but I just don't understand why you would ever want to be in a situation where you were getting people against you over lies that didn't benefit you at all. There was no benefit in any lie he ever told. He didn't gain anything, no respect, no money, no women were dropping their panties for him because of the lies he was telling. They were just so dumb and off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's delusional and he thought they were real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, to be honest with you, don't care. If I had a toilet flushing right now, I'd hit that button and it'll go... I'm flushing that right down the toilet right now. Let's go on to the next topic. Let's go. Make sure your fantasies leagues and everything are all set.
Oh, yeah. It is Thursday.
Everybody, you got a game coming up. Make sure your rosters are set. You got Buffalo's tonight, and Buffalo's playing who? Miami. Yep.
I got 2 players tonight.
I got one player I'm about to put. I wanted to put him in real quick. Yeah.
So one thing I want to talk about, we talked about this a little bit. We talked about this a lot at our failed podcast on.
We're still
Saturday.
talking about football, right?
No.
Fantasy. Oh, we're not.
No.
Oh, that's why I came back to that.
No. So.
We started off.
So cancel culture struck again.
It's getting a little crazy.
I was reading reports today that a bunch of podcasts got thrown off of different carriers and different platforms.
Now you're scared.
Not that I'm scared, but Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And I mean, I don't care what your opinion is on any of the podcasts or Jimmy Kimmel itself. The opinion is not my point. The point is we are now in a time where you can say something that somebody can cancel you in a snap of a finger for, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. What happened to free speech?
There is no free speech anymore. Honestly, I mean, you got a man that, God rest his soul, and my heart goes out to his kids and wife. But you got a man that was actually, speaking his, free, speaking what he thought, and debating. Actually, he wasn't throwing anything down anybody's throat. He wasn't out there preaching. He was debating. He was the only one that was debating with these people. It infuriates me. It infuriates me.
And we made a post right when it happened. Shortly thereafter, because we were sort of unsure what was going on immediately.
I was hurt. I'm hurt, man. I'm like, there's sometimes I'm scrolling through Facebook and a clip comes up and I get a tear in my eye. I'm like, dude, like his wife and kids, like I can only imagine, like I can't, like, whoa.
Right. Well, I mean, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because we're a podcast and we believe in free speech, and these kind of things like matter to us,
right?
Regardless. And we made the post. We didn't see eye to eye on everything Charlie Kirk said.
No,
and you didn't have to. I don't care if you didn't agree with anything the man said. Like, you that wasn't just an attack on Charlie Kirk or Turning Point or the Republican Party or conservatives. That was attack on free speech. That was attack on our Constitution.
You go against the grain. This is what happened.
Right. And, I don't care how this sounds. Like, you are no better than the person who, wants to take away guns, who then goes and shoots up a school or goes and shoots Charlie Kirk. You're no better. You are that person. If you're going to sit here and tell me that our rights aren't worth being protected, I don't even know that I want to associate with those people anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I find
I honestly, I don't want to associate with those people. Like,
I just find it appalling being that we have a podcast and we host our show, and for the first 8 episodes we weren't too worried about what we were saying.
No.
And now it's like, are we going to say something that's going to be taken out of context and someone's going to report us to Spotify, which is the backbone of our show, and all of a sudden we are not
Spotify for being the backbones of our show.
We're not going to be on the air anymore. And then before you know it, somebody reports us to YouTube. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to record on cassette tape and play it in a subway tunnel? Like,
I mean,
it kind of puts it into perspective, because we had a totally different show planned for today.
Yeah, we did. We were gonna go balls deep. We were gonna go into it, and were gonna.
And now it's something that
we pulled back the reins a little bit, because it's no matter if you guys listen to this or not, this is kind of like a stress relief for us. Something to do, keeps us up to date what's going on in the world. Because if knowledge is the power. If you don't know what's going on in the world, how do you know what's going on, in general? You need to know what's going on in your surroundings and everything that's going around,
right?
To be a better person. That's my opinion,
But for me, the reality of it is we are a small podcast, less than 1,000.
I mean, if you guys share and like, and could get better, we could have 1,001.
But, we have less than 1,000 followers, less than 1,000 subscribers. Everybody who listens to us, like, we appreciate you listening to us, or doing whatever it is you do, interacting with us however you do. But, like, the reality is, I was talking to you earlier today, is the reality for me is we have no skin in the game.
Mm.
It would take absolutely something with no merit for Spotify to be like, you know what, these guys, we're not even going to have them, we're not even going to be liable for them.
Yeah. No.
So, we've been thinking long and hard about what format we want this podcast to go on, and we thought we knew, and now we kind of don't know again. So, I mean, I feel this is all knee-jerk reactions to what happened with Charlie Kirk. These are all knee-jerk reactions. This is why Jimmy Kimmel lost his show. This is why podcasts got pulled. And mind you, podcasts got pulled on both sides of the aisle.
It did.
Conservative and liberal.
It did.
So this isn't, I'm not blaming one side or the other. Well, who I'm blaming is the shitty people. Don't be a fucking hypocritical asshole, because this is what everybody's starting to look like.
See, I don't think we didn't give our, they didn't hear us on that episode when we were talking about cancel culture, because we never
put that out.
And that's the thing. That's what we're trying to say here, guys. Is this cancel culture? Sorry about that. It's bad. It's bad news. I mean, like, it is bad. Like, so they're saying you're gonna get canceled for saying what you feel, what you did, and I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. I don't care if you're black, white, anything. Like, we are going down a bad road right now, a really, really bad road. Now what's going to happen now if, I'm hypothetically speaking here, Jimmy Kimmel, he lost his show, okay? Now he gets in his mindset, and he's sitting there with a bottle of whiskey, and he's, he's pissed off, he's mad, I just lost millions of dollars, all this fame for whatever, and now he goes on a rant.
Right.
And I'm not saying with what, anything like that, I'm just, in generalize, he goes on a rock throwing spree, like, whatever.
Right.
And he starts throwing rocks at everybody, like, come on, man. Jimmy, don't throw rocks, bro.
But I'm saying the one thing that I hold valuable in your and I's friendship is the fact that we're not fundamentally different, but we do have differing views on a couple things.
Oh, a few things, yeah.
But
we're still friends.
I think that actually makes us better friends, because, like we are able to discuss those things, and while you might not sway me and I might not sway you,
You could sway me, you know.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
in a vacuum, you know, we're still able to understand where each other are coming from.
Yeah.
And we kind of had that debate with one of the segments on the special. You know.
Yeah, we did.
You know, you didn't agree with what I was saying, but you understood why I was saying it.
Exactly.
You know, but at the end of the day, like,
that's what needs to go back to. I remember when, as a being a kid, and your family gets together, and it's the older table, where people, I sat at the kids table, whatever, until I was like 20, but yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that, guys. I had a brain fart, but
that was my fault. I showed him some notes.
But actually having your family having discussions, and actually like sitting over some coffee, and people were able to discuss each other, politics, whatever, sports or anything. Nowadays it's hard. People don't know how to talk so well, and I blame that on, I don't know, I blame it on the internet. I blame that on not having face to face dialogue. I I am a pickle smoocher. Thanks for that note. No, but in all seriousness, I do blame that on the internet, because if you watch a lot of these younger, like, you watch Charlie Kirk, and he would. I never, he was always very, very nice, always respectful, but he would put the ball in their court and say, "Prove me wrong," and they wouldn't know how to prove. They wouldn't know how to. Maybe they thought, but they wouldn't know how to communicate. It seems like once they get in a tight spot where they're, maybe
they can't admit they're wrong.
And they can't communicate. They can't, without screaming, yelling, and making an incident. Like, dude, there's no. We don't need to scream. We don't need to scream.
Right.
Like, talk like I'm. And it says, they say, I think that there's a saying that it's people with lower IQ levels are the ones that will start the screaming and the yelling and the like, I don't know if that's true.
I don't think it's that. So the one thing that we talked about, and this was a topic that we wanted to bring on the show, and we're bringing it on now, kind of haphazardly. Yeah, I just happened to look and saw the note, but we're going back 3 or 4 episodes now.
Oh, about the kid, yeah.
About kids. Kids are different today than they were when we were kids.
Absolutely, dude.
I want to say that in the aspect that kids when we were kids were different than kids when our parents were kids. I will guarantee you
a little bit, but I see us more being like our parents than being the kids nowadays, because these kids nowadays, man, they got some. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a different world.
Right.
To somewhat. I mean, there was dangers when we were back there was dangers in the 80s. There was kids getting abducted in the 80s. I remember getting dropped off at the mall. All right. Well, no, we lived quite a few miles away from the Lehigh Valley Mall. Like, we lived, and we'd get dropped off there playing video games, the arcades, picking up other chicks, smoking cigarettes out in front of the mall, which my, high school football coach caught me one time, which I had to do a lot of hills for that. Well, we won't get into that because that sucked, but it was awesome. You see other people from other schools, and we didn't have cell phones, so how we would pick up the collect call, all the one you walk down the hallway where the bathrooms were, they had a bunch of pay phones. And you just pick up, collect call from, pick me up now, Dad. Boom. Then, my dad would get a call, ring, answer, boom, hello. You got a collect call from, pick me up now, Dad. And we knew where to stand, and my dad would come and pick us up. And in the mornings, like, it was like, in the summertime, like, it was in the mornings, like, we were out of the house because we couldn't be in the house because they couldn't get their work done if we were in the house. So it would be like, we were out all day. All day. We'd come home maybe sometimes for lunch. We're hungry,
I think there's a lot that goes into it. I don't think it's one thing or another. I think
these kids are built soft.
I don't see. This is how I look at it.
You take 5 kids from our growing up and 5 kids from nowadays, and I guarantee our kids our era are whooping that kid's ass.
It's not even about that for me.
We were tough,
I think the way the kids are brought up are differently for a lot of different reasons. I think it's a generational thing, and I think it's been happening since the beginning of society. Is the generation wants it easier on the generation that comes after them. So
You baby them.
my grandparents were a little easier on their kids, my parents, than my grandparents' parents were on them. Then in turn, my parents were easier on me than what
Okay.
my grandparents were on them, which now in
So,
turn I'm a little easier on my kids than my parents were on me.
all right, America, listen. If that's what you're saying that's what you think.
Right.
Stop making fucking puss pops, please. You gotta make these kids hard a little bit. A little bit harder.
Well,
I mean, whatever happened to
I don't
throwing
even
some hands after
I
school at the
don't
flagpole?
I don't think it's even that either. I think that's one of the contributing factors. I think another factor is the fact that somebody somewhere along the lines, and I'm going to say this about everything from after school fights to we're calling off a school, we're canceling school 2 days before the storm hits.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
And it's a liability. Everyone has got so sue happy about everything. Everybody
Right.
sues everybody for everything.
I know,
And it's stupid.
dude. I used to like. I mean, there was a time, high school. It was end of junior high, beginning of high school. You started getting that little ranginess in you, and
Right.
somebody gonna disrespect me. Like, fuck no, man. Let's throw hands. And you got to see who was who when you're throwing hands. You know what? You might have had a disagreement, but you know what? I respect that motherfucker because you know what? He gave me the 5. He stood his ground. You know what? He's a pretty cool dude in my book. And you wouldn't even, you forget what you were fighting for. You know what? Fuck, it was a good fight. Cool.
Yep.
No
And
griminess. No people jumping in. Nobody. Back then we didn't hear a lot of people about grabbing guns. And nowadays, it's like kids are too scared to take that L with their hands, and they'll bring a gun in, and you know what? Then you again screwed up a whole life.
well, I mean,
And I talked about that before on the podcast,
right.
and it's easy to influence these kids nowadays, and and it's that's all they need is a gun, and they think they're powerful. Like
I don't see. I agree on most of what you say, but there's a couple things like I don't agree with,
I mean,
and I'm gonna put it in the same perspective as I do.
I grew up in the country, so I play with guns since
Right.
I was like 10, 12 years old.
But
Like I was out there shooting guns all day. Like
but I'm gonna put it to you in the perspective of this. I don't think. I think people become a product of their environment, and I used to say that wasn't true, but the more I look at life,
oh, definitely, yeah,
people literally become products of the environment they're in. And that's from being responsible and being accountable to being irresponsible and not accountable,
oh, yeah.
as well as being racist or unracist.
Well, I mean, your
you know.
parents always tell you, watch your friends, watch who you hang out with because you're gonna end up being that way,
Right. Well, your influence,
and that's the product of your environment.
and the problem is, and I'm going back to Columbine. I don't know if you remember the Columbine school shooting.
I do. That was a dark day.
That was
Marilyn Manson's problem.
right, but here's the thing, and I think Marilyn Manson kind of said it best, and I don't remember verbatim what he said.
Eminem said it pretty best. God, so he said, did he say, oh wow, it's the problems in the middle class white kids.
I don't know.
And he blame it on the Maryland, blame it on the music.
Right, but I remember after Columbine, almost immediately after Columbine, they interviewed Marilyn Manson. And again, I can't remember verbatim what he said, but he said something like, that kid, if the kid was screwed up enough to listen to my song and go kill somebody, he was screwed up enough to go do it without even knowing who I was. Something to that effect, I don't remember. And he's right. Like, I grew up watching the Three Stooges and Tom and Jerry and the Flintstones and some the best cartoons ever made.
Hell yeah.
But ridiculous TV shows. And I never put a pipe wrench on one of my friend's nose and tried to turn it off. I never hit anybody over the head with a tree branch or a hammer. Right. I never handed anybody an Acme fucking stick of dynamite and blew them up. Like,
oh shit.
We knew without being told that wasn't real.
Right. I mean, I did dumb things, like I remember riding my bike, me and my buddy riding our bike to like 3 miles and going to it was the IGA, but Weiss,
Right, right, right.
My wife then bought IGA out, but we would go to the IGA and we'd buy. They wouldn't sell lighters, so we bought a whole brick of matchbooks. Well, then, we just wanted to smoke cigarettes, but then you gave us a whole bricks of matchbooks, and we're allowed to buy those, so we bought all of them on the shelf, and there we are making match head bombs. Dumbness, until my grandmother caught us, and then we were, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'll never understand some things that happen. And
But that was fun. I mean, I'm not saying the kids go out and do shit like that. Like I've never condoned violence or anything that's gonna harm. But that's how we. I feel like you had to go through some hard time. Like you had to go through some pretty sticky situations to kind of know who you are when you grow up. You know what I mean? Like how do you know? When things get tough, how do you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna fall down and just cry,
right?
Or are you gonna fucking tough it out and get the fuck at home? Because you know what, if you don't go home, I remember the one time my buddy had we were in sixth grade, and my buddy, if you guys are listening to me, we're not gonna throw your names out there, but we had a birthday party, we all got drunk, and then I drank a lot. And it was in the wintertime, and I'm just like, yeah, leave us. And to get down to this spot, we had to go down this real steep hill, and the trail went, sideways. We had a big fire out in the woods, and I got hammered, and I'm just like, yo, just let me here by the fire, let me go, I'm good. And motherfuckers, they wouldn't let me home. They fucking drugged me by my feet up this hill. They got me home, and finally got me on my feet. I was able to walk, and if I wouldn't have done that, I would have come ass kicked even more by the old man. But my boys, they didn't leave no soldier left behind. But there again, we did some sketchy shit like that. We got drunk in cornfields and almost had alcohol poisoning.
Right, and I think you have to make mistakes and do dumb shit to kind of like figure yourself out.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, shit. A normal person would be like, damn, I never want to do that again. That was pretty fucked up. But me, I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. Let's do it again.
Well, I can remember, and I apologize to anyone who gives a shit about me at all. I'm about to tell you a story that was probably going to make you want to, be glad it's 30 years later and not when I was doing it, because it probably would give my poor grandmother a heart attack. But
she's a sweet lady. I didn't meet her.
I can remember the cool thing to do for teenagers was kind of like a rite of passage, and we would jump off the trestle here in Lehighton.
You guys had a trestle, yep.
Into the Lehigh, and I can remember doing it.
Is that I thought it's a pretty deep. It's a deep hole there.
Yeah. So under the trestle, there's the pillars that hold it up.
Yep.
So from the current, it did wash away. Like there, you can see box cars have gone off there over the years. Cars have gone off, and people have died. From driving a car across.
It's that deep.
Off. It is that deep, right?
And you can pencil dive. I mean, I grew up jumping out the quarries and everything, but
right. No, you can.
Wow, that's even a little dangerous.
I was a pretty big kid at like 14, 15 years old, maybe 16. But I was probably like 6'2", 200 pounds, and I could pencil off it.
Not touch anything.
Not touch anything.
Wow. Sweet.
So like dumb things like that. I can remember, getting on a friend's dirt bike and, wrapping it out and getting squirrely and
a little whiskey throttle where you fucking hit it again and like, whoa.
Well, I instead of checking the backside of the tabletops, I thought I could jump the tabletop, and when I came down, I landed in a rut and ate shit. Not seriously hurt. It was more scrapes and stuff because like
a little bit of ego because all your friends are laughing at you, like,
right, yeah, and just the dumb shit. I can remember being a little 12-year-old snot-nosed little prick, and my grandparents had a bunch of extra cinder blocks stored behind their barn, and I would stuff it with straw and newspaper and light it on fire, and oh wow, I'm gonna make fucking hot dog here or whatever, and almost burnt the barn down. But those things made me realize a couple things. Number one, like, your actions have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like, man, what was I really thinking? I think this is interfering with the camera.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was getting a little blurry. Sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties on this side of things. Yep, see, now it cleared up a little bit. So we're still learning all this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but as I was saying, like, you know, I got nailed by a salt round in a cornfield for messing with the farmers.
Cows.
No, we were just being assholes.
Oh.
You
So
know,
you're doing some cow shit.
I can remember shooting a Roman candle into a state cop's car as he was driving up a dirt road. You know,
You remember standing in the back of the El Camino with an American flag?
I remember that. We need those pictures. I know you posted some things on the Facebook page, but we've done some wild shit since we knew each other, you know, but we don't ever cross the line.
No, we know which line it
you know.
is. But I mean, hey, that neighbor up there, they wanted to cross that line, and I was ready to cross that line, bro. I was ready to cross that line because I would have wrapped them upside the head.
Well, it didn't take too many words to be exchanged for me to be ready to go up there.
I know we were banned. What are you talking about, me, motherfucker? Like,
yeah. I mean, there's a history with these neighbors.
Well, we don't.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a story because I feel like this is a big part of our podcast. So these particular neighbors that we're talking about right now, I can remember when our friend at the time dumped his motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
All right. So my wife went up the street.
I don't think I ever met you. Is this the first time I met you?
No,
Maybe
this would have been
time.
the second time.
Okay,
so you and him went out to
I was at the bar. I was at the bar. I was on my
bar.
bike. He texted me, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm actually at the bar down from your street." I said, "Get on your bike and come meet me, do a shot with me."
So, anyways, they get to the back intersection behind the houses here, and I don't know if he hit a rock, he fell over, he passed out, whatever happened.
Something happened.
He fell over, he dumped the bike. No big deal. We heard it. Another neighbor had told us, "Hey, he just fell over on the bike." So my wife went up to meet his wife. And as I'm walking up the street to see if you needed help getting his bike back down here, I hear this particular neighbor yell, "Go get your husband." Well, getting what you asked for. So I'm not terribly big dude.
No.
But I don't take nobody's fucking shit.
No, as you shouldn't.
Right. So I go walking up the street and I said, "I'm the fucking husband. What do you want? Why are you up here?" I said, "Dude, you told her to go get her husband. Here I am." Right. Still don't know what any of that had to do with me or my wife. My wife simply walked up the street to make sure friends of ours were okay. That was it. So this guy proceeds to threaten me. I want to name drop him so bad because he's such a piece of shit.
We don't do that.
Right, but anyways, I'm begging him to come off his porch.
He won't.
He won't.
His whole thing was he didn't want the porch to get scratched.
Right.
But he was yelling at me when I was I had to put my kickstand down, and I put my kickstand down and got off of my bike, Harley, and I actually got my buddy off of his bike. And as I'm trying to pick up this bike, he's in my face like, "Don't scratch my porch!" And I'm like, I'm just like, "Let me get this bike up. Let's get his bike."
Well, I wasn't as nice as you were.
No, you weren't. Well, I had this on my,
Right. So, anyways, I go up there and I'm ready to, hash it out, and he will not come off his porch. Instead, he goes through his front door and out his back door and comes out the side of his house with a garden hose. This was his answer to the problem. He was going to spray me with a garden hose.
And you showed him your piece, right?
Oh, well, we had quite an exchange.
I mean, if somebody says, "So I'm going to shoot you with my garden hose," I'm like, "Well, yeah, just shoot me with your garden hose. I'm just going to hit you with this 9mm.
I explained to him very politely, as politely as I could in that situation. I explained to him that him spraying me with that hose was assault.
Yeah.
Now, once that assault occurred, I was protected under my right to defend myself. Not only was he going to get nailed for assault, not only was he going to pay for any of the stuff of my personal belongings that he damaged, but he now was going to get his fucking ass beat until the police arrived.
I'll put his name on it. I would put his picture on a shirt.
Yeah.
So the memory of so and so.
So anyways, that was the end of the conversation. Billy Badass didn't want to fight no more.
Hey, he wasn't one of the big dogs. He's had to stay on the porch.
So there was a couple more run-ins between then and the 4th of July. Nothing major. 4th of July, we're minding our own business, setting fireworks off well away from anybody's house.
All the other neighbors were all having fun.
All the other neighbors were out, including the neighbor that we were closest to. Now, I'm going to give you some background. It did rain. It was wet. It's not like we were volleying fucking flaming fireballs into, hayfields.
This is where we got the actually the block parties from.
Right.
This
So, yeah, that was a precursor to the block parties we had this summer. But anyways.
It's actually what we thought of, what we talked about doing the podcast.
Right. So, said neighbor's wife comes out of her attic window, mind you, starts yelling at us that we were shooting fireworks. Okay, now listen. Her house is here. We're shooting fireworks off this way.
In this direction.
In that direction. Away from the house. Far from the house. We were over 100 feet away from the house.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting them well off at an angle. Okay? So she starts running her mouth, saying all kinds of stuff. We decided at that point we were done. We didn't engage initially, and she just kept going and going and going. And she said the magic fucking words to me, which was, "I'm telling my husband." Oh, you mean your husband, the bitch? Like clockwork. Now, mind you, I've seen him sitting on the porch.
Yeah.
Like clockwork, this fat, goofy fucking.
Whoa.
Hold. Let me.
Let's not take a.
This fat, goofy, Barney Rubble-looking motherfucker
What are you?
stands up and says, "Are you calling me a bitch?" And I said, "I am in fact calling you a bitch."
What
Why?
are you gonna do about it?
Because you are a bitch. Come off your porch. He walks to the edge of his porch at a step like he's going to come down. I start running across the street, and he turned around and ran in his house.
He thought about it. This
man, and if he ever hears this podcast, you will know exactly who you are, you fucking piece of shit. Your wife is going to get you physically beaten or killed. I'm telling you now. Your wife, who likes to let dogs lick peanut butter off her snatch.
We don't have to do that.
Nope.
Poor dog.
We are going
Poor
there
fucking dog.
because I'm not allowed to say names, but I can make it very descriptive so people will know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know these people.
So your wife is going to get you beat the fuck up. Okay? I'm just going to make that clear. The next day, I sat in front of your house on that chair looking at his house the whole day, and he would not come out.
With a sign.
With a sign.
It said, "You're a bitch."
You're a bitch in big letters. So anyways.
What the fuck were we doing? I don't even know what
we were just hanging out.
Okay.
We weren't doing anything. Yeah. So the next day, we were there again, and we were doing something.
I think we're
working on
karaoke night.
No, we were working on my son's car.
Oh yeah, we were. Yep. One of them was karaoke.
So
night.
This guy comes out. He looks to make sure we're not looking at him. I'm watching him off of his porch. He gets in his car. Now, directly in front of Rumble's house, a car stopped to pick up the neighbor. So when the asshole fat ass neighbor comes out and drives, he has a stop almost directly in front of Rumble's house. I go like this. Look at this. Look at this guy. I get up, I walk over, and I knock on his window, and I go like this to him, right? Thinking I'm going to get some kind of reaction out of this guy. He goes like this.
But as soon as he drove away.
Doesn't look at me, right? As soon as the car in front of him goes, he passes us. And when he's, a car length past us, I see this come out of up over the roof of the car. Okay, game on. You bit. Okay. So we wait till he comes back. And as soon as he gets out of the car, I start walking up the street, and I said, "Hey, why don't you come down here and flip that bird in my face?" I said, "You're going to have a fun time explaining to that paramedic how your finger got shoved so far up your fucking ass." He goes, "I don't know why you can't just leave me alone," and runs in the house. You know what I haven't heard from? I haven't heard one word come from that house.
No, actually.
Since the 4th of July.
I actually seen, instead of so the wife would sometimes walk by my house.
Yeah.
She actually started walking the street behind her, behind her house, just so she couldn't walk and have him pick her up down at the lot.
Right. So I'm all about if you have an opinion and you want to express it, but when you start hurling threats at me and I come...
Bunch of reindeer
and names. I come to cash the check that your fucking mouth just wrote, and you can't even defend yourself, and now you got to go out of your way to avoid me, you're a fucking pussy bitch.
On that note,
Sorry, I had to get that out.
You get that out. But on that note, let bygones be bygones. Turn the other cheek, kiss thy neighbor.
Well,
no.
dude,
I'm kidding.
Any dog can be a pit bull when he's chained to the porch.
I'm a pit bull.
You're what are the big fluffy hairy dogs? Saint Bernard.
Fuck you.
You're Saint Bernard. I'm gonna get you a little barrel necklace.
Yeah, do that. See where that gets you.
It's gonna get me pictures to post on our Facebook page.
I don't remember that shit. I'm ferocious. But yeah, that being said, all I was trying to say is kids are soft these days.
How do we get so far?
I don't know because this is how it goes. But no, kids are really, really soft. You take 5 kids from my day back in the early 2000s when life was. I mean, I would give anything, and I guarantee a lot of people out there, I would give a lot anything to go back to the early 2000s. People were making money. Families were happy. Gas was $1.30. Bread was 99 cents. You could go to Big Mac was like $4. Now it's $12. I said that was good times back then. You take any 5 kids from that era and 5 kids from this era, I guarantee 5 kids from that era will whoop the fuck out of those kids.
Well, what happened? What happened? What do you think really happened?
Pussyfied. Everybody's pussyfied.
So
social media, internet. Don't get me wrong. I like video games myself, but video games is another one. Like these kids they're not going to the mall. They're not going to the mall. They're not meeting people from other schools. They're not interacting with kids like they used to back in the day. Like we were interacting. Dude, I seen kids in the same room texting each other because they don't know how to talk to each other. Like, is that not a problem? So then they get older, they go get jobs. Now they're this, and now they're freaking out over their emotions, and they're getting fired for putting shit on. So
that's where I have the problem. So I do believe that there is a distinct problem with people being able to handle
their emotions. Communication.
So is it? I hear this thrown out there a lot. Oh, it's a mental illness. Okay, so
mental illness.
I'm gonna say a couple words. Mental illness is not some new thing.
Right.
Okay,
we have an issue with mental.
It's been around since people have been around.
Right.
That's not new. What is new is the way we handle it. Okay.
Back then we had Penhurst. Oh no, what was it?
Well, and I'm not advocating for state hospitals either. What I'm saying is
people need to go to state hospital.
But what I'm saying
get their head checked.
Unless someone gets 302'd,
I got my head checked.
Somebody who is having a legit mental breakdown, like the precursor of a mental breakdown, or somebody that has some kind of issue like that, if they don't want treatment or help,
they're gonna get sedated.
No, they can deny it.
I'm gonna be sedated.
So we're telling people who we are saying are not fit to be around other people or not fit to be in society. We're now giving them a choice whether they need to have a psychiatric evaluation or.
I had one once.
Right, but I'm saying
they told me the option: either you do it, or we're gonna take away your guns. I said, okay, no problem, I'll do it.
But many of these people don't care about that.
Well, I do care about that.
Well, you do, but I'm saying like a lot of people don't care about that. They don't care what they lose because the reality of it is if you're gonna go shoot somebody, it doesn't matter if you bought that gun at Walmart or fucking off the guy at the corner of the street out of the back of his Buick.
Right. Okay. But now stay on topic. Now, you think that that's a problem nowadays with the whole communication breakdown, the whole dealing with your emotions. And then
I do.
They want to cry victim. Then after all the smoke settles, they want to say, "Oh well."
I think at the end of the
I didn't do nothing. But I didn't do nothing. No, you made a disrespectful thing. You made a disrespectful post on social media about somebody.
It's accountability,
right? But I didn't do nothing.
Why don't people like accountability? Because there's consequences to it.
But they didn't do nothing.
Right. So, but that's exactly what I'm saying. So, it for me, like, it's not one thing or another. I don't think it's all, there's not all the eggs aren't in one basket. I don't think it's all parents parent differently. I don't think it's all technology, video games, and cell phones. I don't think it's all mental illness. I think what it is people are smart enough.
It's a salad.
They're smart enough to see that they can manipulate the system and probably get away with it.
It started with OJ.
They didn't start with OJ.
If the club don't fit, I quit.
Right. Yeah. Now we're talking about. Something totally different. But the reality of it is this is
What
you
the
know
reality is when the white Bronco's going down the road, let the white Bronco go.
and on that, we're gonna get right off
No.
this subject. No, because there's a couple things I want to hit yet, and we're already at the 55-minute mark.
I'm just saying. I just want to say I want to do a recap on. Hey, I'm just saying a lot of these people aren't accountable for things, and then when it comes on them, then they want to say, "Oh, I didn't know, I didn't know, I didn't know." Like, let's be a little bit more mindful of
It's
our posting on the on. People can lose jobs. It's not all fun and games.
it's
And
simple. You don't even have to go any further. It is simple. Be a decent person, and you don't have to worry about it.
I'm always decent.
Right.
Until I'm undecent.
Right. Indecent.
Oh yeah, indecent. Sorry.
So, anyways,
Fucker.
one more thing I want to get to. We started it this week, so we are proud to be in Carbon County.
Yes.
We are residents of Carbon County and Lehigh County originally. Lehigh County for you.
I'm originally a county. I'm not proud of Carbon County, but I'm trying to get Carbon County to where it needs to be.
Right. So, one of the things that I feel times are hard. I think one of the things we need to do is start giving a spotlight on some of our local businesses.
Definitely, 100%.
So we decided to do a weekly local business spotlight, and this is completely dependent on the people out there. You don't have to have a business. If you know a local business, have them reach out to us. We would be glad to share a small thing on our Facebook page with their logo and contact information. We'd love to be able to help you out however we can.
Right.
That being said, we had our first one this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Got a Guy LLC. They're a general contractor, handyman service. They do anything from yard work to tree work to home renovations.
Are we doing this right now?
Yeah, we started it already. We did it the other day. It's on our Facebook page. This is just the first podcast we had since then.
Nice.
So go to our Facebook page and check him out. I have a link there for him. His name is Ed.
Ed. Okay. Cool.
Yep. I know him personally. Really good guy.
Ed's a good guy. Nice.
Yep.
Would you lend your tools to Ed?
Yes, I would.
Okay, that says it all because he would not you would not lend his tools to somebody
I don't trust.
Yes.
Right. He is a good guy. I can't stress this enough. You need anything, check him out. At least give him a call. We got to start helping these small guys out. We have a local store here closing.
Yeah, it sucks. The hardware store, yeah. And,
yep.
I actually went in there a few times. Because it's it's a little bit more expensive, but you know what? It's close, it's easy, and like Mallards. Everybody gives me crap about going to Mallards. I like Mallards because I can go in there, get a few things. If I get I shop for the day, so like if I'm want to go make a dinner at night, it's just me and my roommate, and I just go in there and get something quick, and it's a little bit more expensive than the big supermarkets, but you know what? I don't have to deal with that big supermarket crap.
Right.
I'm not walking, like I don't know,
but definitely,
we do need to do the more community. Like let's help each other out, guys. Let's help each other out. I know every year I do a Thanksgiving meal at the one church. We put it on at a church, but it's not a church. It's not any church thing. It's nothing about nothing affiliated church. We have the meal there.
Hey, you're doing it again.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Thanksgiving, look up. I'll be plugging that up too.
Yeah, I think we talked. We decided that we're going to be involved as a podcast. You've been involved for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm going to try to give something back.
I definitely want to be involved. I would love for.
You're coming to help.
Yeah, definitely. So next time you talk to him, let him know that I'll be coming with. I don't want to do a live podcast there, but I definitely love to get some community awareness. I'd love to plug it for him a little bit more.
Yeah, we can. I'll shoot that by. I'm sure we take some pictures while we're there, and get some advertisements.
Right.
And it's a community thing. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you drive up in a Ferrari. You can have dinner. Sit down, have dinner, talk to each other. We're all neighbors. I don't care what you got in your pocket, what you don't have in your pocket. It's just it's a dinner and it's a meal and it's breaking bread with some friends.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. So we'll be probably soon. We'll be starting to post information about that. Yep. I definitely would. I would love to have him come on the show.
Yeah, you know what? I can talk to him because he's a Carbon County his whole life, and he made it. And this person was wasn't the best guy, you know. But you know, he was up late one night and he decided to get his, you know, an MMI commercial came on and he said, you know what, I'm gonna go to school to be a motorcycle, you know, technician. And he's already in his 20s already, you know, almost 30s, and he did it and he's became the best one that he could be, and it just started rolling and. You know, he's doing real good things for himself. He's doing real good shit.
No, and
I'm not gonna put him on blast or anything right now, but until I talk to him, you know, and see if that's something.
Right, and that's definitely something I want to be involved with either way.
Yeah.
You know, I believe we got to give back into the community. They're who are supporting us. I want to support them.
Right.
You know, we might be wild and crazy at times, but at the end of the day, our heart is here.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean.
The other thing, you know, we're running out of time here. The other thing I wanted to say is, again, if you have a local business, small business, any kind of business, local, if you know somebody who has one, email us the information, send us a message on Facebook. Look, we're not asking this for ourselves. This is one of the things we'll ask you guys to help us with that doesn't benefit us at all.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
I mean, I ask all the time. Share.
Right.
Like and share. That's all I'll ask of you.
Yep, definitely.
And then this.
Definitely like and share. Like you don't got to pay for nothing. You don't got to buy anything.
No.
Our show is free and always going to be free until we get some traction. We're not going to have any sponsors. We're going to force down your throat.
If you go away for like an hour and a few minutes, let your dog listen to us. Right. I'll talk to your dog right now. Hey, dog, what's up, dude? You know, let your dog play it in the background. I don't care. Right. Just play it. Do that for me.
But with that being said, we're going to call it a night. Hopefully somebody likes us on YouTube. This will be, the video will be on YouTube.
I don't even look right, man. I don't even have a hat on. Got my hair all messed up. I just got up from the nap. You know, like, the sun was in my eyes. I had a stomach ache. You know, what other excuses do you need?
I don't need any excuses. We are who we are.
Yeah.
But guys, if you're watching this, thank you. You know, I know we got a little crazy and long-winded, and Rumble can't keep time.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. We are who we are.
As Andy Priscilla would say, don't be a hoe, and share this motherfucking show.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a great weekend.